On the 5th of May, Londoners returned to the polls, this time to choose their mayor. We have had the opportunity to speak to the candidates for all the major parties. We've spoken to the Conservative, we've also spoken to the Green Party. But today we have the opportunity to speak with Caroline Pidgeon. She's representing the Liberal Democrats. Let's go in and have a conversation with her, and you decide at the end of the day if she will be your mayor. Why don't we go and find out? Tell us, what is she going to do for you? Hi Caroline.
Hi,
nice
great to see you. Thank you for coming to see me.
Thank you. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
Excellent. Now, we're going to talk about the 5 major areas, the transport, the housing and business and so on. First of all, I know that you've been at the GLA, the Greater London Assembly, and one of your major areas is the area of transport.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dubbed You've been fighting in this area for quite a long time. What are your plans specifically for Londoners should you become mayor?
Well, transport fares are really important. So what I would do is introduce targeted fare reductions to really help particularly low-income earners in London. So what I'd introduce is half-price fares by 7:30 in the morning. This would really help those workers who go in, who keep our city moving, the cleaners, the security guards, the people who work in cafes and so on. Really important to keep London moving, but they'd get half-price fares before 7:30 in the morning. But I'd also bring in a 1-hour bus ticket, and for that would allow lots of people who use buses to change buses like you do the tube within 1 hour, and you'd only pay one single fare. So these are costed, targeted fare measures that will help low-income Londoners in particular. They'll also help with overcrowding at rush hour by encouraging a few people to travel that bit earlier. So I think they're win-win in terms of transport. But also I'd be looking to invest in other modes of transport apart from the fares. I'd be looking at extending the Bakerloo line out to Lewisham and beyond. I'd be looking at getting a Sutton tram link to go down to Sutton through Merton to help people in that part of London. I'd be making sure we have the investment into the tube to make sure we can send more trains through the tunnels to help with the serious overcrowding we face. So I'd be investing a lot in public transport to keep London moving.
I mean, one of the arguments is that, transportation is so expensive to run as it is, and that government has to subsidize it. Now, if you're talking about the half-price fares, before 7:30 and the 1-hour bus travel, will that not impact on how much money can be ploughed back into transportation?
They obviously have a cost, which is why I've only looked at those particular measures because I think they're affordable. They cost about £30 million a year to introduce. But to do that, I would stop other things that Transport for London are currently doing. I wouldn't build more road river crossings in East London, for example. Staff who currently work for Transport for London have a perk that not only they get free travel, they can nominate someone else. I wouldn't allow that. I'd also get rid of the Garden Bridge, this project in central London that's soaking up 60 million of public money and really is not a transport project. So there's lots of things I would be getting rid of and spending the money in a wise way, helping low-income earners in particular.
What would you be doing about our yearly increase that we have virtually every year? Where I live, for instance, when I first moved in there, I think I used to pay something like £6.50 for a day's travel card. Now I'm paying double figures of 13 or so pounds to come into London for the day. What would you do about the yearly increase?
What I'd be looking at is around inflation. But you have got to have some increase, I'm afraid, because one, I want to have targeted measures, but also I want to keep the investment going. It is not credible to say you can just freeze fares year on year and still have the investment going into the transport network. If we want more trains, if we want improvements to our rail and tube network,